Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have Alison Heath with us. She is the longevity rescuer, and she's been helping people turn back the clock on aging for over 30 years. So welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Tyler. Good to be here.
Great to have you on. We'll dive into the first one. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Oh my God, that would be my life story. I'm not talking about the entrepreneurship, the stuff that I've done, which, is running like 9 different companies, always working for myself. But it's basically about living life to the fullest. So really, I've had the perils of Pauline in my life. I'm like a little inky dinky spider climbing up the water spout. I was run over by a 650 motorcycle in the West Indies. And at that time, I was just a party animal. Sex and drugs and rock and roll and party. Also, school, running businesses at the same time. But it's funny because I healed from an injury that they said they were going to have to dislocate my leg. And the weird part was that it was accidentally stumbling upon Superfoods. And that, in turn, got rid of a bipolar disorder that I was taking lithium for life, I thought. And the bipolar disorder had robbed the thyroid function. So then I was on Synthroid because I was hypothyroid. And then I dislocated my shoulder, and they thought there was absolutely no way, because it was fractured while dislocated, that it could heal. I didn't take their Oxycontin or any of that stuff, and I healed on my own. Then I had whiplash from being struck by a truck while I was at a stoplight. And I've almost completely repaired my back. And another miracle was being able to overcome electromagnetic hypersensitivity. And this, Tyler, after years of designing computer software and being exposed to Wi-Fi for so many years, then becoming sensitive to it, and then being able to recover. Amazing.
Wow. Wait, so if you don't mind, if you could dive into 2 things a little bit more. I'm very curious about these. So 1, the superfoods. Can you tell us a few of these superfoods?
Oh my God. Well, superfoods are really nutrient dense foods that have very low calories.
Okay.
So it's really all about the combinations. And in this show, there isn't a hope in hell that we can even come close to getting into diving deep on that score. Okay. But anybody that wants to can contact me, and I'll share the different things that I know, because one of the things that's going on right now, Tyler, is anxiety. People are suffering from chronic anxiety, and they don't have to. There are things that can really, really help that, but it's putting it all together in synergy. It's like a little puzzle. It's an art form to know which foods are going to enhance the power of the other ones.
Okay. So, and at the end of the show, I'll ask you how people can contact you. So, and I'm actually going to be contacting you about it. And secondly, and it's just because I've actually never heard this, but the sensitivity to Wi-Fi, like, what does that feel like, and how did you become, I guess, aware that you were sensitive to it?
Holy shit! Well, I thought it was a placebo or a psychosomatic illness. Of course, I'd heard about it and everything with all my health work, but I just didn't think it was real until it happened to me. So what happened was that I only had my cell phone, no landline. I had Wi-Fi. I was doing summits. I was really, really living in a luxury apartment building that my condo was separated from the others by an electrical storage room. I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking that there was a thunderstorm. It was my pounding heart in my throat and in my temple. It was incredible, because my usual resting heart rate is 58 beats a minute. It was way the heck over 80, 90. It was just insane. And then I'd get up, I was really dizzy. I started smashing into the footboard of my bed. I had permanent indents in my thigh. I'd look in the mirror, and here I am, the longevity rescuer, and I looked like the Wicked Witch of the West. I thought, who on earth is ever going to follow me? And then when I was trying to use my computer, and this again, with a background in IT, designing software, I couldn't remember my passwords. I couldn't remember how to use email. I couldn't remember anything. It was like total brain fog. And I thought, what's going on? Ringing in my ears. I mean, it was pretty traumatic.
Wow. And then these superfoods helped you overcome that.
Well, I spent over $16,000 to overcome that. I shielded copper taffeta material on my walls. I got special daylight screening stuff and netting and protective clothing and shungite and this and that. I did everything. But
wow.
And I bought a Beamer machine, which was another $6,400. But the thing that really did it for me was this superfood drink. There was a combination of 6 superfoods. Now, I mean, I did everything. Everything helps. But that little thing, after 6 months of using this superfood drink, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I tested it. I went to Brisbane, Australia. I went to a big conference there. I was fine. I was sitting with my friends from Hong Kong, and they had a Wi-Fi central in the middle of the table. It didn't even bother me. Wow. I went to Vegas. No problem. The last time I was in Vegas, I was hanging on the flipping walls. I was so dizzy. Wow. So things have changed, and I am delighted because you're not supposed to be able to recover, or it's not easy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I literally had never heard of Wi-Fi sensitivity before, so very interesting. So the next one that I have for you, thanks for going a little deeper on that one, is what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Okay, your consciousness is much stronger than you believe, as is your ability to heal and experience vibrant health. And let's face it, health is your most valuable possession. If you don't have that, Tyler, you ain't got much.
Mm-hmm. And what is your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Well, attitude trumps all. Okay, with a great attitude, motivation, and persistence, anything is possible.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I'd have to say that success is measured by the amount of joy you feel. Everything always works out. So focus on finding your bliss and every day finding joy to take inspired action. Let go. Trust the result will take care of itself.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
It's an inside job. Okay, we can't depend on others. So make that connection to the divinity within and bask in grounded joy and bliss. It's like Socrates said, know thyself.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
That was a hard one because I really, 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 really love books, lots of them. And lately, I mean, I've been reading a lot of nonfiction and stuff like that. But the book that does it for me is Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. The reason why I chose that one is because there's 22 powerful processes to achieve your goals. It's a practical roadmap to success, and that wraps around to success is joy, not material objects.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
We rise by lifting others, by Robert Ingersoll.
I love that quote. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go, and I'm sure everybody that's listening to this is very excited, is how can we get in contact with you?
Well, Facebook's good, but I would suggest that you go to longevityrescuer.com.
Perfect. Thanks again for coming on. We appreciate it.
Hey, Tyler, my pleasure.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.